I saw this doctor for 3 years for mental health concerns. They never diagnosed me, citing that they don't believe in diagnosing, they believe in treating their patients. I switched to another doctor and was diagnosed and am doing well. My former doctor published a book which included anecdotes from our sessions, which I believe to be private. They do not include anything someone in, say, California, can track me down by, but my significant other knew I saw this doctor in the past and was able to figure out it was me from what they wrote. I honestly just feel violated. I'm not sure if I can do anything. Book is published. Not like I can ask them to please not include me, right? Is there anything I can do here? I just feel like they should have asked for my consent before publishing or something. Commenter. It depends on how de-identified the information is. That they didn't diagnose you is irrelevant. OP. Sorry, I was explaining why I left their practice. It included past abuse I faced from parents and in childhood, and some details from an abusive relationship I was in for a few years. Anyone close to me who knows I saw this doctor would know it was me, and there are some people who may be able to figure out who I am from one particular detail. Specifically, I am worried my ex, if he ever found this book, could possibly figure out what county I currently live in. Commenter. Unsure if directly contacting the psychiatrist is a good idea. Others who know more can help. OP. I wasn't sure either, that's why I asked. It's already out there. If I'd found out before it was published, I could have said no or asked her to alter a detail or two. OP. Hi. I wanted to thank everyone who took the time to read and comment. I haven't decided exactly what to do at this point. I was decided up until people got it in my head I'll draw more attention to it. I'm still upset by this and will probably contact the doctor once I've cooled down. I'm still very angry. My partner now knows a type of abuse I was subject to that I wasn't ready to tell them yet. Thank you for anyone who took the time to give advice. Reading it makes me feel a lot better. I thought I was overreacting and this has been very validating. Commenter. How would you know the doctor didn't have a diagnosis if they were keeping it a secret from the patient? OP. Hi. She did diagnose me. She made the choice not to tell me my diagnosis because she was afraid a life sentence to being sick might make me spiral. She wasn't wrong at first, but by the time I left I had figured out what was wrong myself. I harbor some resentment there, but it doesn't seem relevant to the book's situation other than explaining why I chose to leave the practice, since she was otherwise very helpful. That being said, I'm choosing to reply to this comment to publicly announce it should not have been my doctor's choice. I asked her multiple times. Since learning what I have and understanding my symptoms, I have improved vastly. I know what to look for and I understand that I'm not just a colossal failure. I have a genuine chemical imbalance and my brain chemistry was probably changed from a young age due to my childhood. In other words, I feel in control now. I feel empowered. Before, I felt completely out of control because I did not understand what was happening to me. I don't hate her, but it was the wrong approach for me. And it's something I get touchy about. Solving the mystery gave me back a life. Not the life I expected, but it's still miles better than the hell I was living. Update 1. I called the doctor. She said I signed something my very first appointment giving permission for her to do it. I'm upset by that. Even if I did sign, I spent my first session crying and begging for help so I wouldn't hurt myself. It was the wrong time for me to be agreeing to anything, and frankly, if I'd been in the right state of mind, I'd never have signed it and would have left and found someone new. I didn't ask to see it. I just want to wipe my hands of this. My so dumped me over something he learned because my baggage was just too much. I just want to move on with my life. Anyone who asks now that it's out there, I'm just saying it's my private business and to drop it. Anyone who doesn't deserve a place in my life anymore. Bumped my therapy up to twice a week for a bit. Thank you to everyone who gave advice. Biggest thing to take away? Read everything I sign. This was my own fault. Relevant comments. OP. Hello. I'm getting a lot of PMs, so here I am. I'm done. I can't handle anything more. I lost the guy I thought I might marry. He's making my life a living hell, telling all my friends that it was me. People are picking up her book just to gawk at my sordid history. I'm being made fun of that I still wet the bed well into my 20s. I'm done. I don't ever want to think about this again. It's just dragging me down to a place I can't let myself be in anymore. I'm sorry that's not what people want to hear, but I can't bear this anymore. Maybe one day when I'm in a better place, I'll look into it. But for now, I need this to be over. Thank you, everyone. Edit. I'm such a wreck it took me until 1 a.m. to even fully read this thread. I can't handle trying any sort of legal battle right now. I had to get drunk to even call her. But I'm reading everything and saving everything relevant just in case. I'm not saying I'm not going to look into doing anything. I hate what she did. I just can't right now. I'm sorry, that's not what I should be doing here. Commenter. It's unfortunate, but at the same time her partner at the time showed their true colors. It sucks, but long-term is better for Lop. OP. As far as I'm concerned, my ex so can go fuck themselves. Facebook blocked, Jim the Hit, and I can't remember the last part of the saying. He can go screw himself. Update 2. I had to provide a doctor's note for missing a week of work. My boss looked up the doctor online and keeps telling my coworkers to be gentle with Banana. She's unstable, and Banana is delicate. Please be careful with her. She has directly told 2 of them that I missed work because I'm mentally fragile and that I see a doctor for it. I know she meant well, but I feel so violated. My coworkers shouldn't know I'm seeing someone for my mental health, and now they do. There is no HR at my place of employment. Is there anything I can do other than look for a new job? I haven't had the chance to bring this up to my doctor, but I will at my next appointment. Thank you for your time. OP commented on an earlier post and left a mini comment, update. Being violated in this regard is becoming the standard for me. I posted a while back about my old doctor writing a book with my stories in it. If anyone cares, I got her fired. I'll let her know why I'm leaving when I do. If the owner can't do anything for me, maybe he will transfer me to another location. Relevant comments. Commenter. Oh fudge. I remember your post. You can't win for losing on your mental health staying quiet. I'm so sorry, Opie. Hang in there. Opie. I had to freaking move over that. I'm still pissed. They fired her and offered me a year of free therapy with someone else. LOL no. Opie replying to a deleted comment. It isn't worth putting a label on myself. People just don't take you seriously anymore once they know you're crazy. Especially in a professional environment. It is, excuse my French, none of their fucking business, no matter how much they want it to be. I've been crazy my whole life. It sucks when people find out and just don't treat you the same way. A depressive episode is, MO, worse to deal with, personally, than when I was bedbound with the flu and bronchitis for 2 weeks. Yet no one treats you the same when they know you were home depressed instead of sick. Update 3. I can't get too into the details for privacy reasons, but I'm definitely hammered and celebrating and remembered I posted here. As a reminder of my last post, my doctor included anecdotes from our sessions in her book. My boyfriend knew she was the one I had been seeing, so he picked up a copy of her book and started spreading details of my past to our mutual friends after reading it. I ended up having to move to get away from all of the drama. She was arrested and charged with an unrelated crime. If she ever practices again after this, allegation? Charge? Ick the right term? I am going to be shocked. I never asked for copies of the papers I'd signed, which I'm sure I'll get judged for. As far as I'm concerned, it's over. She's being punished, even if for something else, and I live somewhere my ex won't find me. I'm just happy and wanted to share. I'm sorry if it's against the rules since I don't need legal advice. Update 4. Hey everyone. Guess who's back? Yeah, me. Not exactly where I expected to be, but here we are. So, things have taken yet another wild turn. I honestly thought I'd hit the end of the road with all this drama, but apparently the universe had other plans. Buckle up because this gets a little messy. Remember how I said I moved to get away from everything? Well, the joke's on me because even when you move, your problems can follow you in unexpected ways. I'm trying to lay low, doing my best to rebuild my life in this new city, when out of nowhere, a journalist tracks me down. Yeah, that's right, a journalist. Apparently, the book my former doctor wrote is gaining some weird underground attention after her arrest, and now everyone's speculating who her anonymous patients are. Turns out, a few people, including my ex, yes, he is still involved somehow, have been running their mouths in the wrong circles. The journalist shows up at my doorstep, asking if I'd like to tell my side of the story, because, and I quote, people are fascinated by how personal and raw the book is. I swear I almost laughed in his face. Fascinated? By my trauma? This is not a reality show, and I'm not interested in giving anyone front row seats to my pain. But it gets worse. Apparently, my ex started spilling even more details about me to mutual friends back home after he heard about the journalist snooping around. He's out here acting like he's some kind of expert on my life, milking the drama for attention. If you thought he was bad before, imagine him with an audience. I blocked him, but the damage is already done. People are talking. Again. I can't escape this nightmare no matter how far I run. I try going to my therapist about all of this, but honestly, I don't even know what they can say at this point. This is my life now, being someone's trauma spectacle, and I hate it. I hate that everyone's talking about me like I'm some tragic character in a gossip column, like I'm just a juicy tidbit for people to dissect over coffee. Oh, and get this, my new job? Yeah, they found out too. One of my coworkers casually mentioned the book in the break room the other day, joking about how weird it must be to have a therapist spill all your dirty laundry like that. He doesn't know it's me, but it's only a matter of time. I can feel it. My boss has been weirdly distant too, and I can't help but think the gossip is starting to spread around the office. I'm so tired. Tired of running, tired of hiding, tired of being the center of attention for all the wrong reasons. I just wanted to be normal, you know? I never asked for any of this. I never asked to have my most intimate moments sold to the highest bidder. I never asked to have my ex use my trauma as a way to stay relevant in his friend group. I just wanted peace. But apparently, peace is off the menu. Anyway, I'm trying to keep my head above water, but who knows how long I can keep this up. I'm starting to think maybe I'll need to disappear again, just vanish without a trace this time. No forwarding address, no contact, just gone. Would anyone even notice? Would anyone care? Maybe that's what I need, a clean slate, somewhere far away where no one knows me or my story. But for now, I'm here. I'm still trying to figure it all out. Still dealing with the fallout. Still just surviving. I wish I had some inspirational quote to end on, but the truth is, I don't know what happens next. I just don't. Update 5. Okay, I guess I'm not out after all. Because, surprise, life just keeps throwing punches, and I'm the human punching back. Let's rewind. So, after that journalist showed up at my doorstep, I tried to lay low and avoid the whole situation, hoping it would just blow over. But, like everything else in my life, it didn't. Instead, it escalated. I woke up to an email a few days later. It was from the publisher of my ex-doctor's book. Apparently, they were tipped off that I was one of the patients featured, and now they're offering me some kind of opportunity. And by opportunity, I mean they want me to write a response piece for their website, like an editorial or whatever. They even offered me a chunk of money for it, trying to paint it like I'd be reclaiming my narrative and empowering myself. Are you kidding me? They want me to put my trauma out there even more, like it's some kind of product they can profit from. They called it brave and cathartic. What they don't realize is that I'm already living this nightmare. I don't need to turn my suffering into some kind of public spectacle. It's bad enough people are whispering about me behind my back. Now they want me to write about it, so the whole world can dissect every last detail? No thank you. I declined the offer, obviously, but the whole thing left me feeling sick. But the insanity doesn't stop there. I found out that my ex-boyfriend, yes, the same ex who dumped me and then gleefully spread all my dirty laundry, is now dating one of my former friends. And guess what? They're both in on this whole mess, reading the book together like it's some twisted bonding activity. I found out through mutuals who apparently thought it was no big deal to let me know. I can't even express how gross that makes me feel. Like, is nothing sacred anymore? So, I'm in this constant state of dread. Every time my phone buzzes, I think it's going to be someone else dragging me into this whole mess. Every time I walk into work, I expect someone to ask me if I've read that book. I can't escape it. I'm suffocating under the weight of all this. The gossip, the whispers, the constant paranoia that someone's going to confront me about it directly. I've even considered taking that money the publisher offered, just to get enough cash to disappear for good. But I know that would only make things worse. If I go public with my story, there's no going back. I'd be permanently branded as the girl from the book, and there'd be no escaping that. At this point, I'm seriously considering a lawsuit. Not just against the doctor, who, by the way, is still in legal trouble for that unrelated crime, but also against the publisher for even entertaining the idea of publishing my life without my consent. I've been talking to a lawyer, nothing serious yet, just exploring options, but I'm so exhausted. I can't believe I have to fight to keep my private life, well, private. Oh, and the cherry on top? My current therapist, bless her, told me I should journal about all this as a way to process my emotions. I'm sorry, but the last thing I want to do is relive this nightmare every time I put pen to paper. I get what she's saying, but journaling won't fix the fact that I've been violated over and over again by the very people who were supposed to help me. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Drowning in drama, suffocated by betrayal, and just so tired of being the victim in everyone else's story. I want to be the main character in my own life again. But right now it feels like the script is completely out of my hands. I don't know what's next. Maybe I'll sue. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll quit my job and move to a cabin in the woods where no one can find me. Maybe I'll just curl up in a ball and pretend none of this is happening. I honestly don't know anymore. Update 6. So, after I last posted, I was done. Emotionally, mentally, physically just spent. I was still considering the lawsuit, but I didn't have the energy to actually go through with it. Then, out of nowhere, I got a call. Not from a lawyer. Not from my ex. Not even from the journalist who still, apparently, wants my side of the story. No, this call came from someone way higher up the food chain. The publisher's legal team. And they weren't messing around. They offered me a settlement. Not a small, hush-hush payoff either, but a real settlement, like the kind that made me blink twice and wonder if I was dreaming. Apparently, the publisher realized they'd crossed a few lines by even considering printing those stories without proper consent. Or maybe they were just trying to get ahead of a potential lawsuit, I don't know, and I don't care. They wanted this whole mess to disappear, and fast. And honestly, so did I. But it didn't stop there. The doctor, the one who started all of this, reached out to me from prison. She wrote me a letter, as if that was going to make everything better. She rambled on about how she never meant to hurt me, how I was one of her most memorable patients, as if that's a compliment, and how she felt her book was meant to help others through sharing stories of overcoming trauma. She even had the nerve to say that I should be grateful my story was shared because it was inspirational. Inspirational? Lady, you turned my pain into a sideshow act and threw me to the wolves. You wrecked my life, got yourself arrested, and now you're sitting in a cell trying to justify it all with some half-assed apology? Absolutely not. I didn't write back. I didn't need to. The settlement was enough of a response for me. But something about that letter just snapped something inside me. For so long, I'd been this passive victim, getting dragged through one disaster after another. But reading her words, seeing how delusional she was about the damage she'd caused, I realized something. I'm done being the victim. So, I took the settlement. But I didn't just take the money and run. Oh no, I used it. I hired a damn good lawyer, one who specializes in defamation and privacy cases. And let me tell you, he was a shark. Together, we worked out an ironclad agreement with the publisher that not only took the book out of circulation, but ensured that any future reprints or adaptations would scrub every last trace of my story. My name, my experiences erased from their narrative. But I wasn't finished yet. I needed closure. I needed to burn the bridges, not just cross them. I called my ex. I know I am giving him more attention than he deserves. But this time it was different. I told him exactly what I thought of him, of his pathetic little games, of the way he treated me like a piece of gossip instead of a human being. And then I told him the best part, that he's nothing in my life now, that I'm moving on, leaving all of this behind. And he can keep his toxic little circle of friends who think it's fun to feed on other people's misery. He tried to get a word in, tried to play the victim like he always does, but I hung up before he could even finish his sentence. Block, delete, goodbye forever. And then I did something for me. I booked a one-way ticket to a place I've always wanted to go. A place I never had the guts to visit because I was always too busy drowning in other people's drama. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. Not my coworkers, not my so-called friends, not even my therapist. I just packed my bags and left. I can't even describe the feeling of landing in a completely new city, where no one knew me, where no one had heard my story. It was like being born again. For the first time in years, I could breathe without feeling like the weight of the world was crushing me. I spent weeks just exploring, hiking through mountains, reading books in cafes, sitting by the ocean, things I hadn't done in years because I was always in survival mode. And then, one day, sitting on a cliffside overlooking the ocean, it hit me. I made it. I'm free. The doctor? Gone. The book? Gone. The ex? Out of my life. The whispers? Silenced. For so long, I thought I'd never escape this nightmare. I thought I'd be stuck reliving my trauma every day, like I was some character in someone else's twisted version of my life. But now I'm finally the author of my own story, and it feels damn good. I don't know what comes next. Maybe I'll stay here and start fresh. Maybe I'll travel more, see places I've only dreamed of. Maybe I'll get a dog, who knows? But for the first time in what feels like forever, it's my choice.